Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to my Mars series. So in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Mars in Aquarius leader as we describe the Mars in Aquarius leadership. Now before we do get started, if you would like to know more information about the Mars signs, the Mars houses, the Aries houses, the first house and Aries season overall within astrology, then I have created an Aries season / archetype ebook. So if you want to get a copy of that ebook, I'm going to put a link in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today. So with all those introductions out of the way, Mars in Aquarius, let's do this. Okay, so what I want you to imagine is that the Mars signs are having a race against one another. Now the Mars in Aquarius, what they might do is they might go to that race and unapologetically do their own thing. For example, they might ask the organizer of that race or event if they can add their own unique spin towards the competition. You might even notice them declaring how the race should be done differently, all whilst the organizer just sits there like, Mars in Aquarius, we have went through this 3 times already. So let me assure you that no, this competition, this race, it is not a setup. And every competitor that you see in this race is for game. And no, the prize is not a trip to space. It is a bottle of champagne and a $200 Macy's gift card. So accept it. See, the thing about the Mars and Aquarius leader is that they are the types of leaders who are gonna be adamant that they can create change anywhere they go. Which is quite interesting here because whilst they refuse to be persuaded or to change their minds once they have made their mind on something, to take action upon something, at the same time, they also want to create change by taking action within their environment. So in a way, the Mars in Aquarius approach to this race or competition is going to be both flexible and inflexible at the same time. So if we were to take this Mars in Aquarius energy and put it into a particular company or firm that the Mars in Aquarius works for, well, for example, they may go into their manager's office and they might just declare or state strongly their opinions on things, what they think about how that firm or company is being ran. And this is just it, because it's the Mars in Aquarius leader that sees the bigger picture, right? They're going to be objective and they're going to be able to point out what they see. So for example, they might notice that Sarah did not complete her paperwork this week, but whenever the Mars in Aquarius did not complete their paperwork, well, the Mars in Aquarius was punished. They had some sort of consequence for it. So it's like, why didn't Sarah get a consequence? Another example may be that the Mars in Aquarius leader goes into the staff room during lunch and notices how there's so many employees who have just stacked up all of their milk cartons within the fridge and they don't have any space for their milk carton, and they're just like, why is there no room for mine? Or if, for example, they are taking on way too much paperwork in comparison to John or Jeremy within the workplace, the Mars in Aquarius leader is going to also point this out as well and be like, that's not fair. That is not fair. Seriously, this is going to be a leader who sees fairness and equality everywhere they go, quite similar to the Mars in Libra in that way, but the Mars in Aquarius is going to be more direct and open about it in comparison to the Mars in Libra, and this could result in the Mars in Aquarius either stepping on other people's toes, kind of annoying them a little bit with their strong opinions and their harsh words towards things, or it could result in the Mars in Aquarius being well liked because they see that objective outlook and they see the fairness, and then they're able to create change within that approach And from creating change, it might result in the employees or people within that company or firm turning towards the Mars in Aquarius and thinking, wow, I'm so glad that you did that. I'm so glad that you brought that idea forward, because it means that we've been able to create change for everybody within this company or firm. A change that actually helps everyone. However, whilst the Mars in Aquarius leader might be the types of people who will point out unjust behavior, if it was somebody else, okay, if someone else is going to point out the Mars in Aquarius unjust behavior to them, well, the Mars in Aquarius, they might be a little bit cold and they may refuse to listen. Oh yes, the Mars in Aquarius can certainly be one slightly stubborn leader who has good intentions, of course. They just want for others to get on well with each other, and they want to treat others with respect and with dignity. But in their mission to do so, they might get carried away by their strong words and their truth and honesty that they hold towards others. For example, the Mars in Aquarius, they might have a particular vision in their mind as to how that company or firm should be ran, or how it should grow or develop. But yet, they can be 10 steps, perhaps 20 steps ahead of the game, so to speak, resulting in others not really understanding or accepting their vision. See, the thing is that Aquarius is a very futuristic sign. They're able to see collective patterns and how society may develop or grow over time based upon the bigger picture vision that they have. But because this is Mars in Aquarius, this is action, this is drive, this is passion, this is motivation going into this very sign, possibly resulting in the Mars in Aquarius wanting to create change, okay? They may want to switch things up, they may want to change things up within that company or firm, but they may do it just at the drop of a hat, just instantly, like, yep, we're gonna do this. But yet other people within that company or firm, they might not quite get why. They're like, why do we need to change these things? Why? It was fine the way it was before. So whilst, yes, there can be particular changes that the Mars and Aquarius leader creates within a firm, which can be beneficial, which they may get everybody on board with and everybody sees the vision, it could also go the other way, where people just don't see it. They just don't get the idea at all. They don't get the concept. However, they might actually be the types of leaders who simply keep to themselves. And if they are provided with plenty of space and plenty of freedom to do their own thing, then they just might feel at their best. They might perform their best. It's just that whenever others are thrown into the mix, the Mars in Aquarius might assert much of their energy into attending to the wants and to the actions of other people. After all, Aquarius is a humanitarian sign, and so they can be very aware of each human or individual within a group or a company or a firm or an organization. Though this can in fact make them highly strong, driven leaders who are really able to pay attention to the common themes and the common patterns going on between people within that group that they are potentially leading. So whilst they're going to bring forth their ideas, they're also going to listen to other people's ideas and then see the common themes and patterns within those ideas and then be able to come to some sort of outcome or action plan so that everybody involved can then collectively as a team take action. They just might be the types of leaders who excel when it comes to observing, so observation. They might record minutes for the team meetings, or they could analyze how well the company is performing. They could also work within admin, or they could work as a secretary, for example, here as well. Plus, they're also going to be highly friendly leaders who see strength found in working as a team. Their strength might actually be found in observing how the team works together, whilst also being a part of the team as well. Another thing about the Mars in Aquarius leadership is that their strategy as to how they achieve things, it might be based upon togetherness whilst also not getting emotionally invested. So they might create a type of community of like-minded people. And an example of someone who has their Mars in Aquarius, who's actually an astrologer and an astrological YouTuber as well, is none other than Honeytrap. So Honeytrap, she has her Mars in Aquarius with her Sun in Aries, and I've been noticing through her channel that she's been wanting to create an astrological community where she's calling out for aspiring tarot readers, numerologists, and also writers. So the way I see it is that she's getting together a group of people to then come into a team. However, even though the Mars in Aquarius may be very good at creating a community of like-minded people together or being part of a group or a club, they also choose their friendships fairly wisely. An example of someone who actually has his Mars in Aquarius who is also a Pisces is Tony Robbins. Now Tony Robbins, he also has a Libra rising and an Aries moon, but he apparently stated that friendships influence our lives more than we realize, therefore it's good to choose wisely. And I find this to be quite interesting because Tony Robbins, he of course is a motivational speaker, and so you notice how that Aquarius energy is wanting to create change within other people's lives and to really just motivate them and inspire them and influence them in a positive way. But then also I was looking at Jada Pinkett Smith, and apparently she stated that it was devotional friendship that really transformed her union from a marriage to a lifelong partnership, and she was referring to her partnership with Will Smith. Now they're also going to be the types of leaders who take action upon controversial matters, or they might be caught up in controversial matters. Take Justin Bieber, for example. I looked online and apparently there were 7 of his most controversial moments there. For example, hitting a photographer with his car, egging his neighbor's house, and throwing shade at the prince. Another person that springs to mind is Scarlett Johansson, and she has her Mars in Aquarius, and apparently she sparked some controversy over playing a transgender man. And then lastly we have Mark Wahlberg, and he apparently sparked some controversy over being paid $1.5 million for a movie in comparison to Michelle Williams, who was paid under $1,000. Another thing to mention from that actually is that these leaders are going to be non-conforming leaders. Take Kristen Stewart, for example. She has an Aquarius midheaven and her Mars in Aquarius as well, and she is widely known for being a non-conformist type of person. She recently got some attention for taking off her shoes, okay? Her shoes to go barefoot at the Cannes Film Festival on the red carpet, because apparently there was a heels only, no flats policy, and she was just like, nah, I'm just gonna go barefoot instead. Seriously, the moment that rules and regulations are made, the Mars in Aquarius leader will question the rules, and if they don't want to comply, they won't. Another lovely lady to mention here is Emma Watson. Now she, like Kristen Stewart and also like Honeytrap, she is an Aries with her Mars in Aquarius, and apparently she has always been an advocate for non-conformist gender views, and she actually accepted a gender-neutral MTV award. And just going off that note here, when it comes to the Mars and Aquarius leader, you might see them leading within particular causes or movements. So, Emma Watson here, she is one of the leading people within the feminist movement. They're just not going to be the types of leaders who go by labels, and if others try to place labels upon them, they will be the first to stand up and demand their freedom. And they're going to perform their best when they're working with people who are free to be themselves. They're going to be independent leaders, and they're also going to give those that they are leading their independence as well. You just might find the Mars in Aquarius leaders excelling when it comes to the likes of technology, engineering, computing, science, and space. And I just want to mention one gentleman who I thought was a great example, and that is Elon Musk. Elon Musk, he is a Cancerian with his Mars in Aquarius, and he's the co-founder of PayPal, of SpaceX, and Tesla Motors. And what SpaceX stands for is Space Exploration Technologies. And what Elon Musk does is he oversees development and manufacturing of advanced rockets and spacecraft for missions to and beyond Earth orbit. So apparently the mission for SpaceX is to enable humans to become a multi-planet species by building a self-sustaining city on Mars. Now, they also just might be the types of leaders who perform charity work or they volunteer. Then again, they might be the types of leaders who actually question where their money, where their donations are really going to. Because the thing about it here is that the Mars and Aquarius leader, they may also be the types of leaders who are conspiracy theorists. One person that I want to mention here was XXX Tendasian. I'm not really good at pronouncing his name, so I'm sorry, but there's questions going around online apparently over whether or not this person is dead or alive. Now, he was actually an Aquarius sun with his Mars in Aquarius, and there's fans suggesting that he faked his own death. I was actually looking at his final video before he died, and he was talking a lot about, you know, the truth and about speaking your truth. And that's the thing about Aquarius energy, and especially with Mars and Aquarius, with this action, you know, motivation, this driving planet going into this sign, is that the message can be very strong, can be very abrupt, can be very open and direct and just extreme almost to a point. So it's about speaking their truth regardless of what other people think, and then also they may inspire and encourage others to do the same. Overall, the Mars and Aquarius leader is going to base their actions upon creating change within the environment if they feel that it needs to be created. And if others agree or disagree with them, well, the Mars and Aquarius leader just might not care overly a lot. But at the same time, it is still these leaders who do want to create a better future today. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes the Mars in Aquarius leader as we described the Mars in Aquarius leadership. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will be back with the final Mars sign of the series, Mars in Pisces, very, very soon. Bye!